If you happen to be in the come up game in sales and you're trying to make more money like we all are, and don't lie to yourself, I know you're trying to make more money. That's why you're on YouTube watching sales videos. But if you're in the come up game and you're trying to make more money than you previously have, like I was in the past, in this lesson or in this video, I'm gonna give you two things that I guarantee that if you do will help you make more money. And they are effortless, they cost you no money, and they hardly require any of your time. So pay attention, listen up, and do the two things that I'm gonna tell you in this video, and I can guarantee you will make more money as a result of watching this video. Real quick, I want to give you a little bit of context on why these two things actually work, because context can be pretty useful. Previously in my life, I was a normal, everyday, average sales guy for about 20 years, working only on commissions. And of course, I had quotas and I had targets that the company gave me, but I also had my personal income goals. And I used to be a guy that was never really capable of making more than, say, $5,000, $6,000 in a month. And that was it was just a ceiling, and it bugged the absolute shit out of me because ultimately I didn't get into sales to make $5,000, $6,000 a month. I got into sales to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 of earned commissions every single month. And before I did that and joined the top 1% of all income earners, like I said, I struggled to make more money. So here's the first thing that I did. The very first thing that I did when I decided to take my income seriously and earn a lot more money is I took the quota that I was getting from my company, whether that was revenue or phone calls or door knocks or whatever the quota was or the expectation, is I took the expectations that the company had on me as a sales rep and I threw them in the trash. The reason why this is important is because the quota that you have is literally just some kind of made up number or little standard of like the bare minimum expectation for you as a sales rep. If you hit your quota, it literally means that you are probably just saving your job and you're not gonna get fired. The top producers, the people making the most money, they're not busy chasing a quota. They're busy chasing their own quota. So tip number one that you can take out of this video, literally implement right now for free, is take your quota or the expectation of whatever it is that your company says that you should hit on a monthly or quarterly or annual basis and multiply it by no less than 3. At my previous sales job, when I was on the come up like you are, my monthly quota was $100,000 of revenue each month. At a 12% commission rate, that would mean for every $100,000 of revenue that I was able to generate, I would take home $12,000. And that number for a long time was really elusive. When they put out that quota, I decided, you know what? I'm done chasing this number. I'm gonna actually make my personal quota $300,000. And immediately upon doing that, I started chasing a higher number, and because of that, I started going for bigger opportunities. I started going for higher volume. I started making more calls. I started scheduling more appointments, and ultimately, it took me a little while, but I ended up outperforming pretty much the entire sales office because while everyone else was looking at that $100,000 a month number, I was looking at $300,000, and most months, I started actually hitting it. Then, each time that I hit that number, I would increase it incrementally from 300 to 400, from 400 to 500, from 500 to 1,000,000, and ultimately I ended up hitting all of those targets. Meanwhile, everybody else on the sales floor and on the sales team were still chasing that $100,000 number. Meanwhile, I was crushing it. And you can literally do the same. It's all up here in your head, and ultimately, if you decide to set the bar higher for yourself, you will probably produce at a higher level. The second thing that I did that you can literally do that costs you no money and hardly any time is grab another sheet of paper, and what you're gonna wanna do is write down your revenue target on a sheet of paper. The way that I do it, the way that I have my team do it on the sales floor, is you take whatever that revenue number is or that number of deals or whatever, and you're literally gonna write it down on a sheet of paper. For instance, back in the day when I was chasing down, say, a $300,000 goal on a monthly basis, is I would take a sheet of paper just like this and I would write down the number $300,000 at the very top of it. What I would then do, I was working inside sales, is I would tape that to my desk so that every single time I looked at my phone, logged into my email, or went into that office and sat down at my little desk, this number was staring at me in the face. And what I would do is every single time that I got a deal, I wouldn't just erase this number. What I would do, for instance, if I closed a $50,000 deal, which I did all the time, I would just cross off the old target and replace it with what was left. In which case, for simple math, this sucks to write on, my new target would become $250,000. And maybe that would happen on the first week of the month. Maybe a couple days later, I would get another $50,000 sale. Now I'm watching my target, which used to be pretty big and pretty substantial, and in some cases, as I was growing, pretty scary. I'm literally just watching this number get smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where I would end up crossing off everything and I would end up with a 0 at my desk in front of me. This is incredibly motivating, and also it's unbelievably rewarding. In some cases, because I was starting to earn so much money by hitting some of these larger targets and some of these larger goals, just crossing off the old target and getting it closer to 0 was more valuable to me than the money that I knew that I made from the deal anyway. And that might be the same case for you, depending on how much money you actually make. But the name of the game here is you need to play a game with yourself. You need to stop being so small and just focused in on whatever the standard is in your company or with the rest of your team. It's likely, if you're on a team, you're surrounded by average people that are poor performers, have pretty shitty attitudes, and just broke perspectives in regards to life, business, and sales. And if you're one of the people that are on this channel, then you're one of those ambitious few that are trying to squeeze the life out of this sales opportunity so that you can set yourself up for more success in life. And what you need is a better game to play. Because trust me, the customers are out there, the leads are out there, the product that you sell is probably pretty badass or you wouldn't be selling it anyway. And ultimately, you're just raising the bar for yourself and you're finding a way to perform at a higher level. One thing that I will mention is that you're probably not going to hit all of your targets and, achieve all of your goals the first week, first month in that you're trying to do this thing. I remember the journey from $5,000 in earned income to $10,000. It took me 2 or 3 months, but it didn't stop me from writing those numbers down on my desk and attacking those goals. But wouldn't you know it, one day after 2 or 3 months, I made a $10,000 commission check, the most I'd ever made in my life. Then I challenged myself to make 15. Then I challenged myself to make 20. And I subsequently started hitting these targets. I remember hitting $40,000 in 1 month of earned commissions. And then I raised the bar to 50. It took me 3 months, but guess what? I continued to stay in that $30,000 to $40,000 per month income bracket because guess what? That wasn't the goal. The goal was to hit 50. So even as I failed month over month over month over month, guess what? I was still earning significantly more than I previously had, and I was earning significantly more than everybody else on the sales team. By the way, maybe you're a business owner watching this video. This is an unbelievably good exercise that you can do with your entire team at scale, whether they're in-house or out of office or working remote. Make sure that you put this into practice to hold your people accountable to what they want to earn instead of holding them accountable to what you want them to earn. Now, I do have a third bonus tip for those of you that are truly ambitious, that want to be the GOAT. You want to be the best of the best of the best in your office and you want to destroy everyone. Here's what you can do. I want you to get rid of your annual income goal. I know this sounds a little bit weird because you're supposed to have goals and targets and things to reach for like we kind of discussed right here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have it on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. I'm saying your annual goal, if you have never achieved it and it is way bigger than you previously have had, is just get rid of it. I remember in 2013, I made $40,000. And in 2014, I said on January 1st, I was gonna make $250,000. Now, I missed. In 2014, I made $80,000 of earned commissions. However, in 2015, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care if I make $13 or I make 1.3, I don't really care. All I wanna do is I wanna be the top guy by a lot. And so I didn't have any income goals, and guess what ended up happening? In 2015, I made $373,000 of earned sales commissions, previously beating my best of $80,000. And so ultimately, I do think that that is a pro tip, is instead of just saying you're gonna hit some specific revenue number, just say that you're gonna be the best. And guess what? You'll end up making the most money that you'll ever make, and you'll be making more money than anybody else on the sales floor. So I would challenge those of you that are truly ambitious, that really want that top spot, all the bragging rights, the title belt, the cash, the incentives, the bonuses. Forget about what your income goal is, and on a monthly basis, just outperform everyone and make your performance the goal instead. Hey, if you're getting any value from this video or any of my other content and it's helping you grow your sales and make more money, then now would be a good time to hit the subscribe button below so you never miss out on any future content and can continue building your business. And if you still happen to be here, guess what? I would like to learn a little bit from you. You tell me down in the comments down below, how do you kind of motivate yourself? How do you keep yourself on track, and how do you set yourself up so that you are blowing past quota, outperforming everyone, and making the most money that you possibly can? I would love to learn some tips and tricks myself on this channel. If you enjoyed this, make sure to share it, make sure to comment like I just mentioned, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on anything new, and of course, share it with a friend, and come back next time for a little bit more information that can help you make more money, grow your business, and scale your sales. Hey, it's Jordan Stupar. Thanks so much for watching my content. If you enjoyed it, now would be a good time as well to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a beat. And by the way, if you're truly interested in taking your team, your sales, and revenue to $10 million and beyond, then I would encourage you to hit the link in the description so that you can chat with us. We're looking for a couple more businesses here in 2025 where we can help double your sales and take you to $10 million a year. We do a whole lot more than just YouTube, and I would love to connect with other ambitious, growth-oriented entrepreneurs like yourself. If nothing else, I'll see you in the next video.